Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Vulcan Report. This report is a live report from Thursday, February the 4th. It is now 9 minutes after 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're looking at a real-time chart of the E-mini S&P 500 futures contract. I want to show you what has happened since our last video. The market has been rather schizophrenic and all over the place. As you can see here in this timeline, we came and we tested that trendline support, broke through it, hit a new low, quickly reversed, came back, rallied above it, crashed back down, hit a new spike low, rallied back up again, came down and tested again, broke out, topped out here, tried to put in a new high here, failed, so a failed top right here. Then we crashed. Now we're coming back. So the market is just dancing around this long-term trend line. It's crashing above it, crashing below it and breaking above it. And right now prices are at or near the actual trend line, and we are going nowhere. The market technically is going nowhere on an intraday basis. But that's not the story. The story today is crude oil for one, and precious metals. Let's look at this crude oil. On an intraday chart, it's been even more radical than the S&P. Look at this. Spike high, pull back, breakout, spike, sideways, pull back, spike down, spike up, crash, strong breakout rally, sideways, breakout again. Market is breaking out above the Kumo cloud on an intraday basis. We have an overnight range of $31.70 a barrel to this morning hitting a high of $33.60 per barrel. So very strong move here. Let's see what the technical picture looks like now on the chart. All right, as you can see here, market is trying to take out the last week's high of $34.82.5. Still has a way to go yet, but it's trying to break out. For all intents and purposes, this is an inside bar. If it was a daily bar, it would be an inside day, but because I use weekly bars, it's an inside week. So really, we've gone nowhere in the oil. We're just trading at the top at the top of the range and of the weekly bar. That's it. Looks like it wants to try to test and get up to this initial trendline resistance right here of $37.96, but it's going to take a lot of doing. We need to see a lot more shorts start to liquidate and take profit, and then we need to see longs pile on in the process to push the market up toward this $41.41 breakout resistance before we can even start looking at the $48. I still think long term the oil wants to get back to the $50 price range, so we'll see what happens on that. But right now the market is strong intraday. We're not overbought or oversold, as you can see here, so it can go any way right now. But as we speak right now, that's where we are. Not a whole lot still to write home about. On an intraday basis, there's a lot of action, but there's a lot of back and forth, but overall there's just not a lot going on. All right, now without further ado, let's take a look at the gold. All right, gold so far is doing exactly what I told you that it would do. I told you that the target for the gold was to get to this orange line here and to hit the bottom of the Kumo cloud and try to push in it by Friday. That's exactly what's happening. At the time of the video, we were, down in here, and now here we are here on an intraday basis. Let's take a look at that. here we are. Okay, so the market is very strong right now. It's breaking out. It's trying to extend these trend lines here, have these turn up as the market builds more momentum to do what it needs to do. So right now, as it stands, short-term bottom in place at 1045.70. This is what we're looking like right here. See, last time we got in here, but we couldn't push through it. We spiked through it. We didn't close through it. Right now, as it stands, we should close here this week, which is good. It sets up for a run at the 1200 mark, like I indicated before. So gold is looking very strong, hitting the overbought section right now, but I expect that instead of being overbought, it's going to lock in and start an upward trend as we push out above the 1200 mark next week. That is the target that we're looking for sometime next week, probably by Friday. All right, looking at silver. Silver is looking good too. It's bumping right up now at that major resistance of 1494, and that's exactly what we hit, 1494. If we can get up and close above 1497, I would like to see at least a close of 1498 or higher for the week. That would be perfect, because then that'll set us up to get to the 1544. So it's lagging behind the gold right now because it has not pushed beyond its long-term trendline resistance. So 1544 is still our initial target that could be possibly hit between now and the close Friday. That's still my target for Friday. I think we can do it. We just need to get it a little bit more power. You see volume is picking up here now, which is good. If we can just get a little bit more volume, we should have enough power to push beyond here too. All right, so far we're setting up this picture. Last time we got above here, closed above it a couple times, but then couldn't hold it, and that represented 1, 2. So for 3 weeks we closed above this purple trend line here. Couldn't get above the orange trend line. We touched it, but we didn't close above it. And then the market came back down. So now here's a retest on the next go round. It looks like we should be able to do it, and then push out above the $17 mark, which is the breakout of the Kumo cloud here. One more chart we need to look at, and that's the US dollar. The US dollar right now is utterly pulling back. Now, even though it's been a hard move, because every time we test par, we crash. We've crashed almost 4 points from the high, or $4, however you want to say it. We crashed 4 points from the high, from that par, which is amazing. Overnight action is $96.27 to a high of $97.48, which is amazing. All right, that's amazing. That's a huge move for the dollar, which historically hardly moved at all. So it really doesn't move that much. But lately, for the last several months, it's been a wild market. It's been a day trading type of a vehicle that you can use. So here we broke out, stayed above it, and then crashed. But this long-term trendline support right here always holds. Last time we tested it here, it held. Here it held. Let's see if we can go back further. Alright, so since we've been above it, we've only had, looks like, 2 tests of the long-term trend line. So here we are. Alright, so we don't want to see a close below this trend line, long-term trend line. If we do, then that will set up momentum to test the bottom of the Kumo cloud and maybe even break below it. Hitting oversold right now. We don't want to see a lock-in downtrend begin. Excuse me. So we'll see. Like I said, we've been able to manage to stay above it. Third time testing it. We'll have to wait and see what happens on this one. But I will tell you that this is due to what happened with the euro. As we pull this up, as you can see, the euro strengthened. As you can see here, it's breaking out. It broke out, and now it's getting up to its long-term trend line resistance. We spiked, tested it once, spiked, tested it twice. Now it's trying to get up there. Now it's trying to close above it this time. It wants to break out and stop the downtrend and start a bull trend. So depending on what this euro is able to do will dictate what the dollar can do. And the target on the euro now is 120. So the dollar is on verge right now of collapsing utterly. And if that happens, then the markets are in trouble. Let me explain what that means. A weak dollar will give you strong commodity prices. So the weak dollar is what's helping the crude oil to break out today and explode higher. You can expect other commodities to follow suit, like the gold, the silver, the soybeans, the feeder cattle, coffee, sugar, all those softs, fibers, meats, metals. Expect all of them to explode higher because the weak dollar is what the market's been waiting for. People who have been, bullish, waiting for breakouts in those other markets, look no further if this euro gathers strength here and momentum, and the dollar continues to collapse. All right, so that's our intraday snapshot. Remember, take what you can, give nothing back. And I want to encourage everyone. It's been a very, very, very volatile week. The market's been whipping around. Stay the course. Keep your head up, and you'll be okay. Just stick with the price points and objectives, and you'll do fine. Sometimes in times of high volatility, you take it on the chin slightly. But if you remember to not get scared and to take every trade signal that you have, you will do well overall. It's people who give up because they lose a trade or have a losing week. They give up and walk away where they could have made millions. You have to get back into the trade. That's what stopping reverses are for and things like that, and trading with the trend. Sometimes when the market starts bucking, it'll stop you out on both sides, long and short, because it's trying to decide what direction it wants to go in. You have to place your tickets. You have to place those trades. If you do not, you will miss those breakouts and those breakdowns. And where you could have made a lot of money, like I said, you could have made millions, you walk away a loser when you didn't have to. So you got to stay the course, give it time, and trust and believe that everything that you've known and have heard about the economy and things like that, it is real. It is happening right before your eyes. The only thing that you need to be concerned with, though, is the markets, because you don't know how the markets are going to behave. That's why I have gone through great lengths. You have no idea how I've suffered to put together these price triggers so that you can have an advantage in these markets. And while others are losing their shirt, you'll be making money. You make money when the markets go up. You make money when the markets go down. So I just want to encourage everyone. If you're new to this channel, it's a good thing that you found it, and I encourage you to keep following along. Remember to, if you like the videos, to press that like button and to visit the blog, because I do update the blog weekly with price triggers and objectives and things like that I'm not able to put in the video. So remember, take what you can and give nothing back.